ToonGrin.com.
Speaking as someone who wasn't particularly interested in seeing Boxtrolls, I have this one thing to say. See it! Why? Well, here's a spotlight to figure that out. What can I say about the Boxtrolls? Well, firstly, its advertising campaign I would describe as almost smothering. The movie has been hyped out the butt, and it's hardly surprising why the trailers had people excited to see the next movie from Laika, the people behind Coraline and Paranorman. But as a sort of side note, here are my quick thoughts about the trailers. They suck. Big time! As they convey an overly kiddie tone to Boxtrolls that really did the movie an injustice and made me very uninterested in seeing it at first. The teasers, on the other hand, better encapsulated the tone of Boxtrolls fantastically with an innocent yet oddly dark feeling to it. But hey, so the trailer's blue chunks and lowered my expectations drastically. But did my lower expectations cloud my critical eye? Well, let's find out with a summary. In the town of Cheesebridge, the people lock themselves into their houses, afraid of the creatures that lurk in the shadows, the Boxtrolls. But unlike the horrific rumors of Boxtrolls eating people and rivers of blood that have circled the town, the Boxtrolls aren't scary in the slightest. I would almost say they're minion-y in character, stealing mental and mechanical bits and pieces from people's trash to build really impractical looking but practical inventions. And living amongst the Boxtrolls, we have our protagonist, Eggs, played by Isaac Wright, who is convinced he is a Boxtroll, so he lives at a happy life with his very, very strange family, until the evil Snatcher and his posse of Red Hats make a deal with Lord Portly Rind to exterminate every last Boxtroll in Cheesebridge. And as Boxtroll after Boxtroll is hauled away, including his father Boxtroll Fish, Eggs becomes sick of cowering and hiding, so he decides to enter the human world to find and save the Boxtrolls. Now let's quickly get animation out of the way, as from what you've seen from this video, it's fantastic. Laika has consistently put out beautifully crafted stop-motion films. Especially in Boxtrolls, they have utilized high-end technology to develop, in my opinion, the most fluent face replacement animation to date. Several times throughout the movie, I had to remind my brain that what I was watching was a stop-motion movie, because the fluency of the movement and the well-crafted lighting and visual effects, it made Boxtrolls almost look computer-generated. But you know me, pretty visuals aren't the only sticking point I look for. Without good characters and story, everything just falls apart. And Boxtrolls doesn't disappoint, if you look at it from a certain angle. Firstly, we have two well-written kid characters, Eggs and Winnie, played by Elle Fanning. Thankfully, the writers ignored the heroes fall in love trope, so we can have the two form an actual friendship, partly based on Eggs' courage and naivete up to the human world, and partly based on Winnie's forceful and antagonistic personality. We see the forming of a give-and-take friendship and the blossoming of two solid and dynamic characters that greatly support the film's themes of identity and status. From a thematic angle, I love both Eggs and Winnie. Complete diametric opposite ways, they each look for their identity. Winnie acting hostile and forceful to be able to reconnect with her quite honestly horrible father. And Egg, after quickly getting over the whole "you aren't a Boxtroll" scene, tries to figure out who he is, a Boxtroll or a human. Both of these thematic conflicts give each an added tragic dimension to them, making both so much more relatable and funny. And going back to horrible, Boxtrolls has what I thought would be a horrible villain, but quickly I realized that Snatcher was in fact a horrible villain. But in a good way. Snatcher is voiced by Ben Kingsley, whose voice beautifully matches the disgusting and slimy design of Snatcher. Sure, design-wise, Snatcher couldn't be any more evil looking unless you put a handlebar mustache on him, but what makes him a fun and intriguing villain is his connection to the theme of identity and status. His main goal, stated at the very beginning of the movie, is that he wants to proceed in the title of the White Hats. Chief versus elite lawmakers, and not too subtle allegory on fat cat politicians. So he hunts the Boxtrolls to this end, but the kicker is that even if he gets this position, it'll literally kill him. No details as to how it does this, but that fact opens a more pathetic and identifiable angle to Snatcher, which of course doesn't rectify his horrible actions later in the movie, but gives us more solid context to see and become entranced at how far this man will go just for a white hat. Now the characters who you'll need a certain point of view to really like is the Boxtrolls themselves. Like I stated, they have a minion-y vibe to them, in which I'm referencing the minions from Despicable Me, where each one of them gets a quirky trait, speak in babbles, and become pop culture horrors. And from a minion's point of view, the Boxtrolls aren't even close to being as colorful or varied personality-wise to stand toe-to-toe with the minions. But brushing aside all the minions and Boxtrolls with little personality and one jokes each, I still like the Boxtrolls more for Fish. Not Shoe. Never Shoe. Fish acts as Egg's father while he lives underground, and I won't lie when I say I feel the opening musical number showed a deep connection between the two, without using a single bit of actual dialogue, and only through action we are able to see Fish's love for Eggs and why Eggs becomes a protective of the Boxtrolls. Doesn't explain how a human raised by babbling Boxtroll learned English, but If you look at the Boxtrolls and ask what do they mean to Eggs, you'll notice a much more tangible connection between them all. I liked the minions, but they were for the most part just babbling comic relief. With everything said, I think my opinion of Boxtrolls may root back to a comment I made to a friend of mine a few nights back. He was hoping that the Boxtrolls would be a good movie because I was waiting for my spotlight to come out. And my exact comment was, it is. I really had fun watching the movie. I'll go into more detail on my spotlight on Friday, but I recommend it definitely if you're into a good, fun kids movie. Now, I began thinking, why did I say kids movie in this context? I'm usually the one saying just because it's a kids movie doesn't mean we can't try making it a good movie. And no smartasses out there, it's not because the primary audience for Boxtrolls is for kids. But that's when it hit me. I wasn't describing the quality of the movie with that label, but the tone. The innocent tone. Boxtrolls is a true innocent adventure with an edge of darkness that challenges the kids to think and frighten them, but with enough goofiness and actual drama to entertain all audience members from the young to the old. Coraline and Paranorman I always felt, while splendid movies, were more suited for fans of each of their niche audiences. Boxtrolls is that right balance of thought, fun, and thrills that creates a film that isn't only a great film, but one that I think could butt into a classic. It's definitely at least worth a single viewing. Just ignore the babble talking trolls if that's not your speed, and you'll love it.